Here we are. This is Susan, and unfortunately, I missed the first part of this painting, but this is basically a piece I had sketched out on a board, which I put some layers of paint on, and now I'm starting to build the face by putting down highlights first. And you can see I put the highlights up around the forehead, the cheeks, and it looks like I got a pencil now. I'm outlining the lips and different parts of the face. This is called the ugly stage, and boy was she ugly. But you know, you got to work through it. It gets better. So I put down some white. My colors I'm using are very limited. This particular piece, I believe I used Payne's Gray, a lot of white, a phthalo turquoise, and for the skin I've used some yellow ochre, burnt umber, and of course white mixed in. So here I'm just outlining again. And now I've got the ochre and burnt umber blend here with the white, and I'm just slowly, you can see on the right, mixing it up a bit. So I'm blending it in. So let's see where this goes. So I'm putting it in the highlight areas, and stick your fingers in there and just blend it around. It's much easier than messing around with brushes. A little under the eyes. There's no pink in that. It's just the ochre, white, and burnt umber. But just a tiny bit of the dark paints mixed in with the white, so it's mostly white, but it's effective. And we're just layering, so you start by layering, and you don't worry about, we have a tendency to look at it and go, oh my gosh, this is so bad. And you just kind of work through it. That's the beauty of acrylics, is you just keep layering and layering, and somewhere out of there a painting develops. And this one, you have to stay to the end because it really turned out wonderful. I was very pleased with it. Okay, you can see I am laying in the color, and it looks very yellow at this point. So here's my palette. You can see the umber, and the reason I used the burnt umber was I was supposed to use burnt sienna. I didn't have any on hand. So sometimes you can just use what you have. So if you have a brown and you need it yellows, so just grab some yellow ochre or whatever yellow you've got, but just keep blending until you get the color that you want. Don't be afraid of it. So here I've washed out my brush a bit. And this particular piece happened by accident. She is a commission for my Orphan Annie, which got sold in the summer, and I forgot to remove it from the website. And somebody bought it. So I'm going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I contacted the person, and she said, great, when I suggested I'd make a new one. And I was really happy with this one. If you're liking what you're seeing, please subscribe. It would help me immensely. I am working real hard at getting up videos every week and also shorts of my videos. This particular video will be broken into two pieces because it's actually about 8 hours of painting to create this piece. So I've broken it up into two parts of about 40 minutes apiece. So we shall see how this goes. Here I'm putting in some white at the sides. And this is almost pure white here. And I'm just cutting in, blocking in, actually. I'm blocking in the shape of the face. And just sort of blending it a little bit. And you'll see the brush I'm using. It's from Ace Hardware. It's not necessarily an artist brush. Sometimes you just use whatever it is you have. There's no rules anymore. I love that. So here I'm just like blocking in the face with the white. So I'm going to do that on this side and then I'll go do it on the other side. So maybe I'll speed this up a little bit to shorten the video. All right, here I've sprayed a little bit of water. It's a mist on the white part on the left, experimenting. And it's good to experiment. You never know what you're going to get. So, and then I go and I mop it up a little bit because it was an experiment. But all the layers end up helping with the character of the painting, and you have to remember that when you're layering. Leave bits of the painting that's underneath peeking through. It all adds character. Now it looks like I've put a couple of lumps of something on there. Probably the phthalo blue. There we go. And I've added some water to it. And I'm blending it around. And it's funny because in the end painting, this is all gone. So, stick around. You'll see. It's pretty crazy. There. Okay. Got a bit too much paint on there, so I'm going to blend it in a little bit. Alrighty. And your mouth has a little bit of a little jog up there. Okay. We gotta follow the divot from here. Put some under here, underside of her nose. Okay, I just washed my brush off a little bit. All right, we're going to blend that up a little bit. And let's smudge. And let's see. I need to pull out the Payne's Gray. I got some Payne's Gray here somewhere. And we're We're going to block in the eyes. Okay, and this one, try to keep them the same size. Eyes look pretty big right now. That one definitely looks bigger. Make this one the same size. Okay, now I'm going to outline the eye a little bit. I'm just using straight Payne's Gray for this. And then we're going to outline the lips. I know it looks weird right now, but that's just the nature of the beast. And I'm going to outline this, and then we have a bit of shadow underneath here. You can rub that in with your finger a little bit. And while I have this on, we're going to get her eyebrows in. Okay. I wet my brush and I just thin the Payne's Gray down a little bit underneath. It's all about layers. You're constantly layering with acrylics, and that's what makes them really interesting. So I'm just using my wet brush to spread this around a little bit. And I'm going to outline just this a little bit. So I didn't use a dark marker, so I don't have that line. There we go. And the blue is good for shadows. So while I've got it on here, I just put a little bit of water on there. And you want to have shadow. And let's see, we need to do her nostrils. take some of that off. Okay, now it's back to white. The eyes need some white in here. There we go. And a little bit here. Mix with some pink. All right, need a bigger brush. Back to this one. So there's a bit of pink, and I'm mixing a little bit of the burnt sienna on there. Okay, I lost my line. So wherever there's highlights, all right. A different brush. Okay, I just lost some of her nose, but that could be fixed. All right, wasn't too crazy about that brush. So I'm just going to blend this in a little bit. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. White mixed. I'm mixing it with a bit. You would use raw sienna, but I didn't have any here, so I have burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and I mixed it with a bit of yellow, not yellow, white. Okay, so let's get a little bit more white there, and I'm going to just make those irises a little bit smaller. There we go. And a bit more white. This one's still a bit big. We'll go back in. There we go. And then put some on her lid. And more of the white up here. She looks very white. Okay, all right. blending it a little bit. Okay. Wow, I think she's coming together. Just slow going. Oops, I got a drip on my palette. Alrighty, so next. Okay, I just added the Payne's Gray around here, and I'm going to put another bit of it underneath for shadow. Fix the nostril. And there we go. I'm using the, what size? Size 3 round brush for this. Okay. And just a little reminder, please subscribe if you like what you're saying. It would be really helpful for me and help me stay on track to put up one video a week. All right, that's relatively equal. And try to fix the eye up a little bit. Okay. And I always like to use what I've got left on my brush. Spread it around. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to be she's supposed to look like this, but I don't think she's going to end up looking so much like her. It's looking kind of different. All right, we're at the end of part 1, and I will try to get up part 2 as soon as possible within the next day or so. And here's a little peek at the finished product. So we have got a ways to go, gang. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing comments. Please say what's on your mind. I'm open to suggestions. I'll look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye for now.